However, Andrew Davis has a lot to add. He's the investigative reporter for our NewsNation partner in Savannah, Georgia. So, Andrew, just do me a favor and give me the overall grade on Buster on the stand, whether you think he helped Alex's case, hurt Alex's case, how he did under cross. Just what's the headline, do you think?
I think the headline is give him a B, because he did a couple things that he needed to do to help out the defense in this case. The specific things that he did was he counteracted the housekeeper's testimony about the fact that she saw this T-shirt on the ground and that his pants were on the ground in the bathroom. Buster came out and said specifically that he grabbed clothes for his dad before Blanca ever showed up, and maybe he knocked that T-shirt down, and he went into the bathroom and went ahead and got his DOP kit and maybe the things he would need, a shaving kit from there. And then the other thing he did was he got rid of this I versus they situation in the car. During one of the interviews, Alex said something that said, I did him so wrong, that some people heard, instead of they did him so wrong. So instead, Buster came out specifically and said, no, it was they did him wrong. Well, how do you know? Because he said the same thing to me at the crime scene. Beyond that, I think he was well coached. He knew what he had to say, but he also wasn't emotional about it at all. I think this is someone who's heard a lot about Paul and how much his dad loved Paul so much. And I think he becomes the son who's on the sidelines compared to the favored son as it was in Paul. And now, especially with this situation the way it is, Paul's gotten even more attention for, unfortunately, the bad things he did, but also even the good things by being the little detective trying to find out about the drugs from his dad.
That business you just said about the emotion, though, look, everybody grieves differently. I've been in so many different trials and seen so many people grieve in the most bizarro ways. So I get that, and I actually identify with that. I appreciate it. I was, I suppose, a little surprised to see that Paul barely broke. I mean, it's his mother and it's his brother, and there's his dad on trial. And this is the most unusual of circumstances, but he seemed almost overly stoic. Was that just me? How did it feel in the courtroom? How did the jury absorb that?
Yeah, the jury was really, I think, looking for a little bit more emotion out of Buster to understand his family and his role in this family a lot. He came off a little numb to me. I don't know if it's just from the time, this period he's been doing it, whether he's been coached to this point, or whether he just really has been listening to it for so long. He wants it done because the spotlight has been on him so much as his dad. So I think the jury wanted more from him, but he did what he needed to support his dad. But I don't think he went over the top with it to give him this amazing testimony that would get him off. Instead, I believe Buster did just what he needed to do, or just what he was asked by the defense attorneys, and that's what he did while he was on the stand.
And let's not forget, he is the son of a lawyer. He is the grandson of a lawyer. He is the great-grandson of a lawyer. I mean, it's a dynasty of lawyers. I don't know that that makes him an expert in it. He didn't get through law school. He ended up being turfed out of law school. But I think maybe that's in some people's minds, maybe not the jurors' minds. They don't know about all that. Big, important question. Did anybody ever ask Buster, did your dad love his wife, your mother? Did your dad love his son, your brother? Did he ever get asked that critical question?
Missed opportunity by the prosecution totally in this case, Ashleigh. You never got a sense of the love in that family, nor did you get a sense of that night and maybe anything he might know about where his father was or his father's tendencies at any point. And you got a sense of they loved to come to the baseball games when we were playing games when we were kids, and we were always around, and we went to games at USC. But you never got a sense of the true love where other people have come right out and said he loved his wife so much, that he was so deeply involved in this. Buster didn't say that. He came off very stoic with what he said. As you used that word before, I think it's a good one to play on. And unfortunately, I don't know if that really resonated as much, or maybe it's not quite as obvious in Buster's mind. He talked a lot about when he was gone and the things that he didn't know. He didn't even know his own dad's birthday, which was a little bit unusual for a family as tight as they were, yet he knew everybody in the room when they were there after the murders, and he knew every single person that was in the room talking to everyone, and talking to Alec after the murders especially.
I mean, you know, I thought that was weird too, right? I know my mom's birthday. I know my dad's birthday. I know the days that they died. I know, well, my dad. And I also know, like, when they were married. Like, so I know all those dates, but maybe I'm just kind of weird that way. Maybe other people just, that's not something, maybe they're not numbers people, but I thought it was odd. Hey, Andrew Davis, as always, thank you so much for staying up late, staying at the courthouse and doing all this work for us.
All right. Thanks, Ashleigh.
It's always good. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.